Good evening. We are the Gratitude Girls.
Good evening. How are you, Laurie?
I am amazing. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to whenever anyone is tuning in. It's almost midnight for me, Eastern time right now. So I think it's nice to let people know that we are always ready. We're always ready to talk to people and to speak to one another, which brings us right to our topic for tonight about making a decision. When and how do you make decisions? And what do you do to help make those decisions? You know, Laurie, I'm thinking about food for a second. When I'm hungry, I sometimes go, what do I feel like eating? Sometimes I go to the fridge and say like, what do I have? As if I don't know what's in my fridge. But, or I'll look at my calendar and I'll think, how much time do I have? As if I don't know how much time I have. But I use different tools to help me make this decision. And it gives me clarity. So I use tools for clarity so that when I make a decision, it fits into what I'm doing. And even when I have one of those totally open blocks of time, I decide how much of that time do I want to spend in that action, or perhaps giving myself time to read a book. So about making decisions, Laurie, what do you do? How do you go about making a decision about, let's say, business?
Yeah, so I believe in having different guides, mentors, coaches, leaders. You know, a lot of people call them different things, right? But I believe in having different people that, because I'm good in certain areas, right? But none of us can be good in every area. So I focus on my areas that I'm good in, and then I get other people to help me in the areas I'm not good in. Like I have a mechanic, right? He's the one that takes care of my car. I could call him my mechanic coach, right? But it's true. I mean, anytime something goes wrong with my car, I take it to him and I say, it's doing this. What do I do? Right? And he advises me on, I could do this. I could do this. I need to do this. I should do this. This could be done, but it could wait a while, whatever. And then I can make that decision and I can take that action of whatever I need to do to get that fixed or resolved. But I have that choice still, right? But I go to him for that guidance, right? And so same thing like with, I have a financial coach or financial advisor, you know, that helps me with my stocks and bonds and annuities and the things that, you know, I look at them and I say, okay, it says minus 8.18 or plus 9125. What does that mean? Because I have an accounting degree, but, you know, I don't know what all that means on that stuff. So I let him take care of that. And I just make decisions of where he tells me to do things, because I've seen he has a pretty good life. And so hopefully he's made some good decisions. And so I try to follow those so that way I'll have the good decisions later. Right?
Yes. That makes me think about something. So these people in our life that we engage with, we use their services, they use ours. I'm thinking about some basic things, like how do we make a decision? This is really simple. My coat was ripped. I could have brought it back to the company, or I could have found someone else. I wanted to find somebody local who I thought had a talent and that I would contribute to their lifestyle. It's a silly discussion, but I saw a girl every day in the window at this dry cleaner, and I watched her sewing clothes every day that I passed. And I thought, this girl looks like she's dedicated. And I walked in and I asked her about my coat, and she said, oh, if you leave it now, I'll have it for you tomorrow. I walked in the winter, left her my coat, walked out, came home, and went back the next day, and she charged me $13. Now, I'm using that as an example because she was my coach for mending my coat. I hired her. And you know what she said? I make custom dresses with such a nice coat. Would you like a custom dress to go with it? I was blown away blown away by this comment. And she said it when I dropped the coat off. And when I picked it up, she said, "Do you have an idea of what you like?" And I said, "Yes, I have a presentation that I'm giving. And I have a particular dress that I would like to show you." And she said, "Okay, I'll make it to measure." So here I did choose the right person. Had I sent the coat away to the company would have charged me $10. I would have saved $3, and I would not have had the relationship. So when we hire someone, we use our intuition. The accountant, the lawyer, the business coach, the voice coach, the networking coach, the coach for our clothing, our food coach. We hire people based on something that we see and hear and feel, even if we hire that person virtually, as we do our work virtually as well. So someone can reach out to us because of something they saw in us. You know, I'm sure you heard the term stalk. So someone could be watching us, or we can be watching them and say, yes, that's what I like. So in making a decision, what I do is I use my intuition and I look at the need that needs to be filled, because I don't want to be the person that does it all, regardless of, like you said, you have an accounting degree, regardless of the skill set that I have. That's not my focus. I don't claim to be a good seamstress, but I didn't even know where my coat was ripped when she was done. She did such a good job. Thank God I chose her. So I believe intuition is important, discovering what needs to be done, and hiring a person that we go through a process, whatever your key points are, to find out if that's the right person. Like you said, your accountant has a good life, and hopefully that will be the life that he helps you with. That's a great visual. I can see that. But I wonder if the accountant who's starting out, who lives in a modest apartment with a modest car, if we would want to give that accountant a chance as well, right? Because everybody needs a break. So we have to go with that. We have to go with, when do we hire the person who's just getting started? Because maybe, just maybe, we give someone a chance when they first get started, and that could change their life. So I use my intuition. I fill the need or fill the void. And I look at the results and how much effort I have to put into it, and I become accountable with it. So I think it's important that we certainly interact like you talked about. And having knowledge, is that a plus or a minus? Having an accounting degree, does that help you or not when you're talking to an accountant?
I think it helps in a way, but sometimes I think it can hurt, because then sometimes we think that we know too much, right? And even though, because I'm experienced in that area, I haven't worked in that field since 1993. So, you know, so a lot has changed over the years, right? And there's a lot of things that you can do better. Like, I mean, even like I use Quicken as one of the programs, the software programs I use to keep all my credit card statements and my checking statements and all that in one spot, where I can send it to my accountant and she takes care of it for me for tax season and things. And, but she showed me, you know, a simple, where I was doing it one way and all I had to do was click a button and it would do this other thing that I needed to have done, but I was doing it manually to get things ready for her, you know, at the end of the year. So, so that was it. That was something that she knew more than me, because that's her field of interest, right? That's where she works every day.
Right. Absolutely. Her focus is on the new and exciting and new and improved. And like, we have shortcuts and we have tips and maybe not a trick, but tips and tricks on how we can help people to deal with the process of the mind and getting the action done. So yes, and I feel the same way about the exercise, nutrition, and psychology business. I feel like I totally know that, but I'm not au courant in what is really going on, other than in my own personal business, which is what we both understand that we do with clients. But I may not have all the like we had an awesome conversation with a holistic nutritionist tonight. That's the person I would go to with a question about nutrition, because my information is not new. It's more lay information now. I'm not working in that field, so I can't say my nutrition information is right up there. But I surround myself with the people that have those areas of expertise. which empowers me. When somebody needs something, I then can go to those people.
Right, absolutely. And something else I thought of too when you were talking is, you said the accountability, and then also I thought of, the action. So, when I do business coaching for a lot of clients, and when, one of the first things that I talk to them about with, especially a new client, is I say, it doesn't matter what coach you hire. It doesn't matter how much you pay them. You could pay somebody $100 an hour. You could pay somebody $500 an hour. You could pay somebody $5,000 an hour. You could pay somebody $20,000 an hour, right? There's some coaches that charge that, right? Not me, but there are some coaches that charge that, right? But the thing is, it doesn't matter what coach or how much you pay or what coach you hire. If you don't listen to what they say and then take some sort of action in the process, right? You could learn all this stuff of what you need to do and how you need to do it and what you need to do next to take your business or personal life to that next level. But if you don't actually take the steps to do it and then be accountable to your coach for taking those steps and actually doing it, then what was that coaching worth? Does it mean that the coach didn't do their job, that they weren't a good coach, right?
Good point. So Laurie, when you are, and we're both talking about the same thing, when you, me, or one of our clients decides to embark on an accountability exercise, if that accountability is not taken seriously and not accomplished, the agreement needs to be set up in advance, what's going to be done. So who fails? Well, let me be in defense of the coach. The coach is the accountability partner. The person who hires the coach needs to get the task done because that's what they bargained for or paid for. So if you're not getting your accountability done, make an adjustment and modify it, because the consequence is you will continue to not get the results you want. You can't tell the coach is not working. The coach can be flexible with you, but if you pay $20,000 an hour, I guarantee you're going to work a little bit harder than if you paid $100 an hour. So however you respect your money is probably how you're going to respect the results that you get in your coaching. So if somebody gives you a bargain and only charges you $500 and they're worth $5,000, take that, be accountable, and if it's not working, make an adjustment quickly so that you can get into the accountability mode. Because every time you fail or you don't fulfill it, you're right back to where you started. And then you're enabling, I guess, yourself, because the coach's job will be done when it's done, and you'll be left with your lack of results. You have anything to comment on that, Laurie?
Right. Yeah. And the only thing I thought of was, that story that when, that they say you can lead the horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? And if you've ever worked on a farm, that's it. You can lead the horse to the water. You can, grab his reins and take him to that water pail, but you can shove his nose in that water all you want. And for one, he's stronger than you, so that's not going to last very long. But two, he's not going to open his mouth if you don't want to, period.
Right. So sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, yeah. And so that's the same thing with our clients, right? We can lead them there, but if they don't take that action, if they don't open their mouth and drink that water, then they're not going to see the results that they want to see.
Exactly. So if you're watching this and if you're one of those clients, if you have one of those moments where you're not doing what your coach is telling you, you're not accomplishing, or you're not feeling inspired, no one can motivate you. But if you're not getting it done, then take a hard look at yourself. Take a hard look at the exercise and take a look at your passion and then decide. Because if you can't be accountable to yourself with an accountability partner, then think about the direction you're going. Do you want to be that horse? Do you want to be that person that at the end of the session, the month, the 3 months, the year, is right back to where you started? Because I think we all need to believe in ourselves. Make the decision. Adjust it, modify it. Don't give up. You're worth it. You can do it. It maybe needs to be done differently, but you can do it. So work with yourself, make the decision, hire the coach, hire the seamstress, hire the accountant, hire whoever it is that you need to hire, but don't do it all yourself, and definitely give yourself the benefit of the doubt. Believe in you in your heart, because when you believe in you, then that's how you get other people to believe in you. When you hire a coach, they need to believe in you too, because on this end, getting paid for something that doesn't get done is not very fulfilling. You may not get to hire that coach twice.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And focus on, when you hire people that are better than you in different areas, right? Then you can focus on the areas that you're good in, that God gifted you in, or where you have the talent or the motivation, right? You might have, like, I have talents in accounting and I have a degree there, but that's not my passion. That doesn't motivate me to do numbers, right? And so, but just like I have a pastor is my spiritual coach, right? I met a guy a couple weeks ago that does travel, and he gets these amazing deals, but that's what he studies for a living, and he does this all the time. And like, I watched a couple of his videos, and I tried to learn things, and it was like really interesting. And then I'm like, no, you just take care of it. This is what I want to do. You tell me how to do it. That's it. Let them be the expertise and just do what they're good at and what their heart and passion is. And then you both succeed, right? Because then when the tide rises,
Tide rises.
I was going to say tides rise. That's not it, right? All ships rise, right? And so that's it. We can all become successful, and and when we share those things with each other, and you can a lot of times trade out with different coaches, or you can pay them. But a lot of times that's it. Like what you said, when you pay somebody $100 or free, and you pay somebody $20,000, you're going to work a little bit harder to make sure that you're going to do and get those results if you put that kind of money out there, right? And so a lot of times, maybe that's it. Maybe that's a hard pain point. I have a health coach that does that one of my clients that's a health coach, that I do all his branding and marketing for him. That's what he says. He'll ask clients, what is a major pain point for you financially? And he'll have them write their own diagnosis of what they're going to pay to have him be their health coach. And so he doesn't tell people what his price is, and he walks with them and talks to them. And that's one of the things that he says to them in the process, in their interview, because he coaches some of the biggest names in Los Angeles and Las Vegas, and, movie stars and singers and things like that. And, people that think $20,000 is not, a drop in the bucket for them. Right. So he'll ask them, what is a pain point for you? Because if you don't have that pain point and you don't pay that price, you're not going to stick to it.
Exactly. And you won't get that coach more than once. And that's what's important to know. When you do hire someone, certainly go into that serious. I would say go into it seriously, with a serious mindset. If you want to get that person to come back and be in your life, if you want to be surrounded by successful people, do what successful people do. Keep doing things with them. Don't hire them and let them fire you, because you don't want to be the client that gets fired. It works both ways. You deserve it. You're worth it. You can do it. Laurie, I love talking to you about this, because it fires me up, because I know the next person that I'm going to hire to help me do something that I need, I'm going to make sure I let them know how much I respect and honor their time and what they do. And I'm going to be the absolute best student. And that's how I get to be a really good, I call it bridging what I do instead of coaching. I've coined a different phrase with my company. So I call it bridging, and you can just imagine that. So the next time I do that, I'll make sure that the person on the other side of the bridge hopefully can feel the same way about themselves, the way I do, that I'm worth it and I'm going to get there. This is awesome. Yes, we can apply this in every business, on our teams, and on the people that we do not yet know. If you have any questions and you're watching us tonight or on the replay, and you need to make a decision and you're not sure how to go about that, give us a call. We'll be happy to get on a Zoom or Google Hangout with you, get on a 3-way call. We'll talk to you about that. That's our pleasure to do that. Right, Laurie?
Yeah, absolutely. Send us a message on our Facebook page, at facebook.com/gratitude girls, because that way we both get the message at the same time. And that way we can set up a time with you to, get on a call with you or message you back or whichever works for all of us and help you.
Yeah, help you hire your coach, take the next step, make the next decision. Don't be indecisive. Make the choice.
Right, absolutely. Because if you keep doing the same thing that you've been doing, you're going to keep getting the same results that you've been getting, right?
Absolutely. And sometimes we don't want that to happen.
Right, absolutely. So let's see you at the top, right?
Absolutely. We're here. Give us a shout. We'll be happy to hear what's going on with you.
Awesome. Have a good night, everyone.
Ciao. Good night. Thank you.